Welcome to Keeping It Real with KC. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and now I am doing a sports episode, and I've only looked over one of the articles because I was looking to see the video, which, by the way, you can watch the video. I retweeted the video is what I did. So you can go to my Twitter, which for the show, KIRWKC for Twitter, and also for all the other social media platforms. KIRWKC.com is the main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, and now Amazon Music and Audible, as well as many other podcasting platforms. So thank you to those who are tuning into this podcast. I have to do this episode and I have to do a tarot card reading within less than an hour. So I'm probably going to do 20 minutes for this, get that done, rush over to my table, and then do a tarot card reading for Sagittarius. So yeah, I have my work cut out for me. I'm trying to get this stuff done before 2 o'clock here. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about in sports is Jake Paul. I watched the show, whatever it is, Paul, something, whatever. I've watched that show a few times and it was interesting. I guess they're brothers or something like that. When it comes to celebrities of any kind, I'm not really into the life of celebrities. Like, I know certain things because I may see it in passing or hear it in passing. But as for making it my business to know a celebrity's business, I ain't about that life. And this isn't really that type of channel. I prefer to talk about other things. However, this falls into the sports arena, and I think it's kind of interesting because this guy, Jake Paul, didn't strike me as I don't want to say athletic type. He just didn't strike me as someone who would go into this field. So it's interesting to me. So I will read this article, then I will read the article about the tweet that I retweeted. Again, KIRWKC is the Twitter account. You can watch the video on there for what happened. I'll get into it in a second, but let me read this article. So this is an old article, probably about 4 days old. Everyone knows what the result was. He fought Ben Askren. And of course, Ben Askren was knocked out in the first round, which I'm trying to figure out how that happened because to my understanding, Askren was supposed to be the one who was the professional. And he's the one who's not the professional. He just sort of decided to start doing this. And he's winning because this isn't the only match that he won. There was another match not too long ago. Oh gosh, I don't know who it was that he fought. I think it was another quote unquote celebrity, if you want to call him that. And he knocked the guy pretty much out. They had to stop the match, whatever match that was. I forgot the guy's name that he fought. But it's like Jake Paul keeps winning. And I'm trying to process this. And like I said, this isn't a dig at him. I'm not saying that he lacks any type of physical or athletic ability. I'm saying based off of what he was doing versus what he's doing now is kind of shocking, where when he made this announcement that, hey, I want to do this, and I know some people were saying, wait, what? Now that he's winning, people are like, okay. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on this. It's a little shocking. Anyways, social media celebrity Jake Paul took the next step in his boxing career Saturday night with the brutal first round knockout of former MMA world champion Ben Askren in a scheduled 8-round cruiserweight fight on a Trailer Fight Club pay-per-view. Paul started his boxing career with knockouts of a fellow YouTuber and a former NBA slam dunk champion. That was the fight. Yeah, see? Told you. The critics said he had yet to face a real fighter. On Saturday, he was paired with Askren. Paul proved his worth as he wasted little time putting hands on Askren and then stopped him with a scintillating right hand in under 2 minutes. It has been a stunning run for Paul, who decided to pursue a side career in boxing a few years ago. He clearly is taking the sport seriously, and he showed that he is much more than a social media star with his knockout of an opponent who was once considered among the best MMA fighters in the world. Paul promised a first-round knockout. Now that I didn't know about. You know what, when it comes to sports with the trash talking, I'm kind of funny about that. I would rather wait until after and then trash talk. Like after you knock him out in the first round, then you can say you should have known I was going to knock you out in the first round, right? But if you say before that, oh, I'm going to knock you out in the first round, and then you don't do it, well, it doesn't look that good. So I say save the trash talking afterwards. Or don't do any of it and just say, good match, good game. So yeah. And let me get back to this. All right. Start with his first opponent that once considered him as fighter. Paul promised the first knockout as did his opponent. Although he was never known for his striking during his 12-year MMA career. It didn't take long for the difference in skill to be on full display. Right from the opening bell, Paul fired a sharp jab as Askren was unable to find a way around. The two-time NCAA wrestling champion did his best to close the distance and even found a way to land a right hand that got Paul's attention. But then Paul stepped back, pumped the jab, and fired a right hand that caught Askren flush. Askren collapsed in a heap to the canvas as the referee began the count. The 36-year-old Askren made it to his feet, but was clearly in bad shape. Although he attempted to continue, the referee had seen enough and halted the fight at the 1 minute 59 second mark. The 3 knockout victories now under his belt, Paul will certainly need to step up in competition. Perhaps an actual boxer will be next for the YouTube celebrity. And I will stop there. I'm not going to read the rest of this. I just thought that story was interesting. And I told you I haven't done sports stuff in forever. So now that's done. Let's move on to this other thing. This is crazy. Again, you can go to my Twitter page, KIRWKC, and you can see this video. I promise you, it looks like something out of the movies, but it's not. And I had to rewatch it again to make sure that there wasn't any type of, FX or whatever. No, this actually happened. So it says college baseball broadcaster makes absurd bare hand catch on foul ball, adds perfect frame job. Jeff Haxton is a former backstop, so it makes sense to see him make an absolutely ridiculous snag on a foul ball last Friday night. Also perfectly framing the ball and not moving a muscle for the theoretical umpire. The ball, which came off the bat of Texas Tech batter Jace Jung, made a beeline for the broadcast booth, where it smacked the bare hand of the Texas Tech radio announcer. Haxton made the grab and even framed the ball so an imaginary umpire behind him could grab a really good look at the ball. And he said, "My hand hurts so bad right now," Haxton jested after the grab. No one would have known otherwise. A former college catcher, Haxton hasn't played ball since 1996. He still got it. Texas Tech would win the game 7-2. Someone saved Haxton's hand a spot in the ice tub. You have to watch this. And again, it looks like it was FX. Like there was some type of, I don't want to say funny business, but like there was some type of movie magic done The foul ball was hit. It went towards the broadcast section. The guy who's the broadcaster, Jeff Haxton, he's saying, looks like, how did he say? He was like, oh, it's going foul, da da da, whatever. And the ball is coming at him. As the ball is coming at him, he holds out his hand and grabs it. No glove, nothing. He just grabs it. If that is something, if you could make a commercial for something, that would be a perfect shot to use. That would be a perfect shot to use. He needs to see, I wonder if that footage is available to be sold, as in to do some type of marketing or whatever. That footage, I'm still in awe. And like I said, KIRWKC on Twitter, I retweeted it. Go there, check it out. You will see he was calling what happened as the ball was coming at him. The foul ball was coming at him. And this was a baseball. This wasn't like, oh, it's a football that went off to the side. Oh, it's a basketball or what? No, this was a baseball. Things that have put people in comas. Things that have literally done worse to people when they get hit with it. And he held out his hand while it was coming at him and caught it. All I'm saying, you got to check it out. So that's that part. Now, on to this other part. This is fictional, but still, this holds a place in my heart, so I had to talk about it because it relates to sports. Apparently, Sylvester Stallone is working on a prequel for Rocky. We already have Creed going on, which part 2 was good. Part 2 was good. But I say, yeah, part 1 was, I don't know. Part 2 was good for the most part. But a prequel, how would this play out? Because in the first Rocky was a, not enforcer, there's another, he was, well, I guess you could say for a loan shark. He was doing that on the side. So I'm curious how he will do a prequel for Rocky, like what he was doing, because based off of the first one, it didn't seem like he was doing that much boxing. So where does it start at? How far back are we going to go? And is it going to be a thing where, will it be more mafia type stuff? I think he should go the mafia route. That's what I think he should do. I think that the main substance of it should be mafia, where he's working for a loan shark, and the boxing is just it's like the icing on the cake in doing that. That's what I think he should do. But I'm not writing the script. That's Sylvester Stallone. I trust his pen because Sylvester Stallone's pen game is on point. People don't realize it, but a lot of movies he has either written or had a lot of creative say in how they go. With the Expendables, with Rocky, with Rambo, so on and so forth. Sylvester Stallone is on point. Period. And I still think people sleep on him as a writer, as a producer, as a director, and as an actor. I still don't think Sylvester Stallone gets all the credit he deserves. That's just my personal opinion. I'm going to go ahead and read this article right quick and do that. So, Rocky Balboa might be back for round 9 or 1, whatever. The Rocky film franchise is one that simply will not die like Apollo Creed and Rocky IV. With 8 movies in the series, 7 since Rocky V doesn't really exist. I like Rocky V. Other people didn't like Rocky V. I thought Rocky V was good. Maybe I'm the only one, but whatever. And at least one more on the way, but Sylvester Stallone seemingly isn't done milking the cash cow just yet. In an Instagram post shared earlier this week, Stallone revealed that he has started the process of writing a Rocky prequel series, which he says would be good for a streaming service. Oh, so you're trying to get Netflix to buy your stuff. I'm not mad at you. though there's no known release date or any guarantee that it would be picked up at all. Says Stallone's caption reads, "This may be the strangest posting yet. I started out this morning by writing a treatment for a Rocky prequel for streaming. Ideally, 10 episodes for a few seasons to really get to the heart of the characters in the younger years. Here is a small portion of how my creative writing process starts. Hope it happens. And then I needed to clear my head, so I went fishing. Talk about extremes. Keep punching, my friends." And then Stallone put up all the stuff in the note. And it says, title page, treatment for Rocky prequel series, written by Sylvester Stallone. Imagine a time machine that will simply transport us back to the origins of Rocky. A cinematic world brimming with characters that have been beloved by people around the world for nearly 5 decades. Climbing aboard the time machine that will take us to the most transformative generation in modern history, the 60s. Needless to say, the 60s was a dynamic time. Yet among all the social seismic activity we drop in the rather plain life of a 17-year-old Robert Rocky Balboa, when we first met Rocky in 1976, he was a very lost soul, a forgotten man, a wasted life, until he was transformed into a winner. We now see this young man struggling like all young people trying to find their place. In the note, Stallone runs down several historical 60s topics, including the Cold War, the Black Panther movement, and the moon landing, which would all likely play into Balboa's upbringing. The beloved boxing character was in 6 of his own movies, making appearances as a mentor type figure in the Michael B. Jordan-led Creed films. Both of the Creed movies were released to critical acclaim, with the third on its way next year, which I don't know what they're going to do with the third Creed. That's going to be interesting. As for this, doing it as a series, that would be interesting. If he did it as a movie, I'm still sticking with the Mafia thing. I would rather, because like I said, if you watch Rocky, the first Rocky, he was working for loan sharks, is what he was doing. And I think it would be cool because I love Mafia movies. I love Mafia movies. So Casino, one of the greatest. But I digress. But yeah, if he was going to stick to like a movie part, I would say go Mafia and then let the boxing be the icing on the cake. He's talking about more of a series is what he's talking about. Now, how these people grow up with Apollo Creed and Mick and Adrian, Rocky, and so on and so forth, in those people, who knows? Paulie as well. That would be interesting to see. What streaming platform would pick it up? That would be even more interesting to see. I forgot who does the Rocky films. I want to say it was Lionsgate, or maybe it was someone else. But for a Rocky series, if I was a betting person, I would go with Netflix first, HBO Max second, and Stars third. If I was a betting person, Netflix first, HBO Max second, Stars third. When it comes to an offer, who may make an offer, I would probably say, yeah, Netflix would probably, and the only reason I say that is because, as we all know, Cobra Kai is on Netflix. It was originally on YouTube, which is the Karate Kid spin-off series. So I would say, and Netflix has just been throwing its money around everywhere lately. So I would say Netflix first, HBO Max second, and then Stars third. Because I could see Stars having a Rocky series. Like, that would fit into what they already have. That would actually be kind of perfect for what they already have. So yeah, just my thoughts on it. So those are my 3 stories for sports, even though one was fictional. And even though the second one looked fictional, but it was very real. Again, go to KIRWKC on the Twitter. I retweeted it. You can watch the video for yourself. Yes, he caught it barehanded. That's all I have. Thank you again to everyone for your support. I have a tarot card reading to do for Sagittarius now. Until next time, be blessed.